What is up, people? During this series, you're gonna finally get the chance to see what good player translates into numbers. I have gathered some of the best players I know from my server Deyla, and they have taken 3 minutes out of their super busy PvP schedule to do a DPS test on the dummy in order to show you what it means to play your character to its fullest and what numbers you can actually achieve by doing so. The only relevant endgame DPS parse you can possibly do is in Vengar if you're an Asmodian, or Signia if you're an Ilios. Any dummy there will do the trick and get you as close as possible to the reality of current 5.0.5 end game. Yeah, doesn't even matter if you do PvP all day or you do PvE or you do both. Practicing on a dummy is going to help you tremendously with both of these things, because you can practice anything from jump shots, slide shots, animation cancelling, weapon combos, or just for PvE simple DPS 3-minute DPS parses that will show your numbers and that you can improve upon, and get as close as possible to these people that you're gonna see in the videos. Yeah, also remember that the point of this series is not to see which class does more damage than the other. The point is for you to understand what numbers you need to achieve before thinking of yourself as a good DPS. Yeah, today is time for Rangers, guys. His name is Shinnok. I used to play with him quite a lot in the past. I still do. I think he's one of the top Rangers on our server. He knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and one thing I can say about him is that when this guy is at his top behavior and top performance, he can put out a amazing number in terms of DPS. So you can enjoy his parse today. You can also enjoy my wings, as it seems. And Rangers have been very unpopular lately, actually since gunners have been introduced. Rangers haven't been as popular because obviously it feels a bit more overpowering in PvP to play a gunner than a ranger. But I think Rangers are super awesome. Rangers have a special place in my heart as well, since I started off as a ranger. And surprisingly enough, most people say that assassins are the hardest class to play properly and execute properly, etc. I will agree partially with that statement, but definitely not entirely. Every melee class is obviously harder to execute in terms of, you know, real things, PvP or PvE as well. Ranged classes have an innate advantage of being ranged and having the ability to kite and slows and stuff. So, of course, in that sense, yeah, it may be harder to execute an assassin extremely nice in tense situations. But I think, and I highly believe that in order to get a super good DPS number with a ranger, you're gonna have a harder time than getting that number with an assassin. Obviously, assassins have throughout AION's 7 years have been 90% of the times the top DPS in game. I'm not talking about a ranger out DPSing an assassin, I'm just talking about a ranger getting a super good parse is harder than an assassin getting a super good parse. That's my point. You have to have that special something, you have to have that special flair if you're playing a ranger to get a super good parse. There are some classes in AION, like Rangers for example, that benefit very much from DP. DP gives Rangers Malform, which is obviously invaluable in PvP, and also in PvE it increases your overall output by a substantial amount. At the end of this parse, you're gonna see that he is gonna reach about 850k in 3 minutes, and with Malform, we did one with Malform as well after, which I'm not going to show you because there is no point in using DP during these tests. But with Malform he got to 930k. So that's an overall increase of 80k damage, which means divided by 3 minutes, that's 26k damage more per minute from the DP Malform. Malform during dungeons and during every single boss fight can be kept with a 100% upkeep rate, so that's a really nice advantage for Rangers. Also the fact that they're a range class as well, so keep that in mind when you're testing out a Ranger without DP, without Malform. Keep in mind that obviously during boss fights you also have to play right in order to stay alive and to keep your DP. so you can use it during the boss fights and get more damage, because it's a nice increase in damage. Yeah, it's really important for a ranger to play right, because then you do more damage. It's hard as it is as a ranger. Let me show you the detailed version, because we kind of had a long chat in the meantime. This is his detailed version, sorted with by the highest damage. Direct attacks and the rest of our skills, you can learn from this a lot. This right here, this screen, is a great source of inspiration for all of you that are playing ranger and that want to do a good parse, and that want to, you know, see where you're at the moment. Auto attacks, what skills he used, how many times he used one skill. You can also do all of these tests that I'm going to show during this series. You can do them yourself, whatever class you're playing, and you can see if you get close to these numbers in terms of DPS output and these numbers in terms of skills, auto attacks, etc. His stats, as always, you could have you saw them at the beginning of his parse. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Don't forget, when you're testing a ranger for your new pre-made in terms of PvE, don't forget that they have Malform and that they do a little bit more damage if they play right. Other than that, guys, I wish you a lovely day, lots of love, and see you soon.